What's up, guys? Carolina Jackpot coming at you. It's November 17th, 2019. And time to do another video talking about some South Carolina Gamecock football, all right? Something to be really excited about. So, last night we take it on the chin, 30-6 to Texas A&M. Fourth loss in 5 games. Season quickly spiraled out of control. Well, I rephrase that. It spiraled out of control in Knoxville, Tennessee several weeks ago. It's just pretty much, it hasn't hit rock bottom yet, but it's pretty damn close. Yeah, I got to do that to deal with this season. Doing a lot more of it this year than I used to, I'm telling you. This is just, last night was just, I'm going to level with you. Before I made this video, I had to go back in there and watch the highlights, or what would be the lowlights to me, of the second half of the South Carolina Texas A&M game, because I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I fell asleep on it, and I'm not sorry. It was 13-3 at halftime, and quite honestly, Will Muschamp, Brian McClendon, and their crappy, shitty offensive game plan spoiled a pretty good performance by our defense. A pretty good performance by that defense. And, you know, you look at it and say, well, you're up 500-something yards and 30 points. I mean, how was it a good performance? Well, if you're on the field for 41 minutes, are you going to be able to perform in the fourth quarter? No, you're not. They went into the fourth quarter down 13-3. Couldn't get anything going early on in the fourth quarter with our abysmal shit show stagnant offense, as usual. And Texas A&M finally broke loose. Cordarian Richardson, running back that I'd never heard of, had himself a hell of a game. Over 200 yards on the ground. One of it, a 75-yard touchdown run. I mean, looked unstoppable. By that time, your defense is a shit show. These guys are on jelly legs. And I know that we've been bemoaned in the past because of our lack of depth on both sides of the ball, and we still have it to some point, but it's gotten better. It's gotten better, especially on defense. The defense has improved under Muschamp. Much as I hate to say that the words improvement and Muschamp in the same sentence together, it has improved a bit under him each of his 4 years here. I mean, just wasted that performance. The offense was vanilla, and I get it. I get the injuries. I get it, guys. I get it. I really do. But, what do you have to lose? What the hell do you have to lose? The season is done. You're 4-6. In order to make a bowl, you had to beat this team from last night and Clemson. You know you're not beating Clemson. You know you're not. So the best you can hope to finish is 5-7. Why not throw everything but the kitchen sink at them? Yeah, I know y'all let Shi Smith throw a pass one time. Golf clap. Why couldn't we do more of that? Why wouldn't you run Dak Joyner out of the Wildcat 10 times in the game? Why not run the goddamn Statue of Liberty play 20 times? Who gives a shit? Who cares? Who cares? Do whatever you have to do to try to get some kind of momentum. And I was looking at Kyle Markway out there playing tight end. Dude's a stud. I mean, he is thick. I can't even remember if he's going to be back next year, but I hope he is. And we get some kind of depth built back around him in that tight end position, because going into this season, that tight end room was one of the deepest in the Southeastern Conference. And, I mean, now it's pretty much him by himself. He's like, hey, I'm looking at the tight end room. And Kyle's like looking in the mirror, and he's like, hey, here's the tight end room. And everybody's gone. They're injured. I get it. But you play in the SEC for a reason. You recruit in the SEC for a reason. You should be able, your third stringer should be able to step up and perform at some kind of damn level. And yet they don't. Xavier Leggett, who became the next hottest thing a couple of weeks ago. He caught a touchdown pass against Vanderbilt, wide open in the end zone. Had a touchdown pass in his hands. In your hands. Drop the damn thing. You drop the damn thing. And I know they're going to make mistakes. But when your team is playing like shit, everything counts. Every play counts. and y'all just ain't making them. You're not making them. I can't hate on Ryan Helinski because he's had an absolute gong show of idiot coaches around him all year long. Idiot coaches who get paid a hell of a lot of money not to do stupid shit, not to make stupid decisions. But what do? They continue to make stupid decisions, and they continue to do stupid shit. And I, for one, am tired of it, man. I'm tired of it. I love my school. I love this team. I love the University of South Carolina. I want to see them do good. I want to see them win football games. But I am so tired of the status quo. I'm so tired of this settling for mediocrity. And well, not even mediocrity. It's below mediocrity. You're below mediocre. You are one of the worst teams in the Southeastern Conference right now. You are down there with Arkansas, who, by the way, is playing LSU this weekend. They're opening up as a 46-point underdog to LSU. 46 points. I would have to go back and do some research, but I doubt that there's ever been an opening line of two SEC teams going mano-a-mano like that, and one of them is favored by that much. Alabama may have against like Ole Miss or somebody a few years ago when they were really down, but that is crazy. That is who you're on the level of. That's who you're on the level of. I mean, in actuality, if you want to look at numbers, you're worse than them. Because at least they were able to move the ball on Texas A&M. They were at least able to score on them. People look at that final score from last night and they're deceived by the fact it was a winnable game. It was totally a winnable game. If you had been able to muster any kind of offense whatsoever, just a goddamn smidgen, you could have competed with them. You were down 13-3 with 10 minutes left to go in the ball game. If you had broken free and we had gotten one touchdown, there we go. It's 13-10. We got momentum on our side. Who knows what could happen? But what happens? We run the same old shitty plays that we've been running the entire game, up the middle, a little screen pass. It's not working, guys. It is not working. You can't. Nothing you're doing is working. Get some creativity. Do something to throw them off. Do something to knock them back off their heels a little bit and say, what the hell did that come from? Wait a minute, where did this come from? You know, do something to cause a little bit of confusion, and then maybe you can get a little bit of an edge. You have to do shit like that when you're outmanned and you're outclassed. I mean, you did it last year against Clemson. You were able to put some points, and I get it. I get the fact that Deebo Samuel's not there anymore. I get the fact that Keel Pollard is not playing for South Carolina anymore. I get all that. But, I mean, we had players last night. Rico Dowdle, he's been back from injury 2 weeks now, right? I mean, and this dude, I mean, before he got hurt on that first play of that Florida game, he was on his way toward a 1,000-yard season. He was on his way to a 1,000-yard season. He gets hurt, he's out that game, and he sits the next one against, Tennessee? And he comes back. He's out Tennessee and Vanderbilt, right? Then he comes back last week against App State, and then he plays last night. And it's like he's the same old dude again. He's the same dude he's been for the past 2.5 years. Don't want the contact. Don't want to keep the legs churning. I mean, just looks like crap. Looks like absolute crap. This video is brought to you by Miller Lite, by the way, and disappointment. I mean, and just disappointed all the way around. Like I say, defense. I mean, I can't bitch and moan about that defense too bad. Yeah, there was a little bit of bad tackling, but the majority of the missed tackles came in the fourth quarter. These guys are gassed, man. They are gassed, and they had to keep their first string in there because at the time the game was close. I mean, that defense, I mean, they're not a Clemson who's rotating guys in and out, the entire game long because they've got elite 4 and 5 stars at every position on that defense. But, I mean, they're decent enough to where, I mean, the rotation could have just been a little bit better, and they, I don't know, could have maybe made a few stops here or there. It wouldn't have made a difference in the game, though. It was, I mean, Texas A&M, you got to give it to them. And they've come together in the past few weeks. I mean, they've played some decent ball. Mississippi State is a team who's also looked at as towards the bottom of the Southeastern Conference. But, hey, at least Mississippi State put 30-something points on. They put 30 points on Texas A&M. Arkansas put more points on them than the Gamecocks did. So I would put South Carolina, Vanderbilt, Arkansas, and right now, I mean, you got to kind of put Missouri there. Those are the 4 worst teams in the SEC. Now, I know that Missouri did beat South Carolina. I get that and understand it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been listening to a Missouri podcast. If you listen to podcasts like I do and you like them, go search this one up on your iTunes or whatever, wherever you get your podcast. Stop it. Stop digging that dirt up. Stop it. I got a couple of boxes I got built in the backyard there, 4x4. There's actually 3 of them out there. Got them filled with dirt. And I had okra plants in one, had some tomatoes in one, and squash and all that in another one. I know you look at me and say, well, he ain't eating no vegetables. Well, I mean, yeah, I do eat vegetables. I got to have something to go with the hamburger steak. And she's out there digging them up. Stop it. Out there digging my damn dead okra plants up. Frost done got them. Where was I? Yeah, Missouri. The Missouri Mazodcast. You should go check it out. The Mazodcast. These guys they're pissed, boy. They are salty, and they are heaping it on Barry Odom and the Missouri coaching staff. I mean, as well they should be. And they're talking about, why is it that everything seems to be centered around Kelly Bryant and maybe Kelly's, chance at the NFL, and nothing seems to be geared toward us and the rest of the offense? Because the team, I mean, if you watch Missouri play this year, I mean, they beat South Carolina, they beat Ole Miss, and all of a sudden, boom. Like, they just flipped a switch and went from doing pretty good to just playing like shit. Playing like total shit. And, I mean, these guys have a right to be mad about it. I would be, too. I mean, they're terrible. They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Kentucky. And then they lost to Georgia in a game which they didn't even do anything offensively. Kind of reminds me of another team I know. And then yesterday played Florida at home, and they didn't do anything offensively. Kind of reminds me of another team I know. I mean, they are pissed right now. And they opened up as a 7-point home favorite against Tennessee. That line has quickly dropped down to a 5-point home favorite. And I think by the time it's all said and done, I think it'll be a pick'em or Tennessee will be favored. They're not winning that game. They ain't beating Tennessee. Tennessee is doing pretty good right now. I will say that Tennessee is doing pretty good. And that's another thing I wanted to address on here. Vol fan. I gained a ton of subscribers from the Tennessee Vol Nation during the weekend of our game against Tennessee. Our pathetic shit show performance a few weeks ago, and I want to thank you for that, Vol Nation. But y'all got some real good fans. I mean, you really do. Y'all got some good ones. But you've also got some retarded fans too. I mean, you got some that are dumb. And don't get me wrong. Every fan base has them. But, I mean, you have some people who are out there, just because you've beaten UAB, South Carolina, and Kentucky, that are out here running their trap, talking shit like, it's 1999 and, you still got T. Martin over here, and they act like Ty Chandler is Travis Henry, and they act like daggum, whatever his name is, Marquez Galloway is Peerless Price 2.0, and it's not happening. It is not happening. Y'all are not beating good teams. You haven't beaten anybody good. I mean, you want to talk all day long about, oh, yeah, boy, we had that two-less Alabama team on the ropes all the way until the fourth quarter, and then we, woo-hoo-hoo. And yes, you did, and you rode a freaking punt return for a touchdown to a win against South Carolina. Hoot-de-hoo, and then you came back and you barely eked out a win on the road against Kentucky, which that I will tell you this. That is a team that I'm glad that we played when we did. I'm glad that we played them when they had that abysmal Spencer Smith or Spencer Sawyer or whatever his name was, Sawyer Smith playing quarterback who couldn't hit damn water if it fell out of a fucking boat. I'm glad that we played them then before they decided to, hey, let's do something different. Let's do something innovative. Let's put Lynn Bowden back here at quarterback. It's going to take away a dimension from our offense. He's our best wide receiver, but guess what? He's also our best option at quarterback. Kentucky wasn't scared to make a change. They weren't scared to do something a little bit different. They weren't scared to put a little strawberry and chocolate in there with the vanilla ice cream and maybe make it into Neapolitan, which is a little something interesting and different. More so different than the Will Muschamp vanilla-ass, crappy, same old. I have never in my life seen a head coach go into halftime down like he was last night and do absolutely nothing. Do absolutely nothing to change things in the second half. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. He does nothing. They come out the second half, they play exactly the same garbage, vanilla brand of football that you played in the first half. And guess what? It got you the same damn results, didn't it? You got your ass beat again. And I also want to apologize to another fan base. I was watching something today, and I thought that maybe I had woken up from a bad dream, and I saw that, damn, a South Carolina sports team is beating App State right now, 41-3. I rubbed my hands. I was like, God dang, I better wake up, boy. I think I was really dreaming. I was dreaming. It really didn't happen. Guess what? It was Dawn Staley and the women's basketball team. They did. Dawn's women's basketball team was beating the freaking Lady Tree Huggers 41-3. 41-3 in the first half. How you beating somebody like that? I mean, I ain't seen scores like that. That's like high school basketball scores. 41-3. God, totally outclassed. But yeah, you'll have the normal thing on here, Tater fan. Ooh, yeah, he's talking about women's hoops. That's the only thing y'all are good at. Let me tell you, Tater fans, I love y'all. And I want to be frank with you about something else too. Trevor Lawrence, I've kind of hated on the dude for the past couple of years, year and a half since he's been playing for y'all, without reason. There was no reason for my hatred towards him. He ain't a bad kid. I mean, he's really not. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I was watching him play yesterday, and he's just a kid. I mean, he's human. He made some real good throws yesterday. Had a good game. He's 21-27, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Didn't have any interceptions. He's cleaned his game up a little bit ever since that UNC, that close call. He still makes mistakes. I mean, he took like 4 sacks yesterday against Wake Forest, and I got to think that's not all on the offensive line breaking down. I got to think maybe, Wake Forest changed the defense up at the line of scrimmage, a couple stunts, a couple here, this and that. Maybe Trevor didn't make the right call to change the play at the line of scrimmage with that offensive line, maybe change that blocking scheme a little bit. He didn't see it, and he got sacked. Because Wake Forest defensive line and their linebackers are not more talented than Clemson's offensive line. Let's just be real. I mean, Jackson Carman and the bunch. I mean, that's one of the best O-lines in the country. You're probably right up there with Georgia and a couple of others. So he's just a kid, and he's just human. I mean, and they were talking about him yesterday that he needs to develop into an actual thinking man's quarterback instead of, right now he's just somebody who throws the ball really, really well. And, I mean, and that may be enough to win them, their, third national championship at 4 years. It may be enough. I mean, it's sad for me to say it, and I hate to kind of say it, but that may be enough. But, maybe he needs to develop that little edge to his game a little bit. But I tell you, I mean, I don't know that I've ever heard Trevor Lawrence even speak. I've never heard him talk in an interview, really. So, I mean, there's really no reason for me not to like him. Why? Because he's got long hair. I mean, one of the best quarterbacks that we've ever had in our history at South Carolina, Steve Tannehill, I mean, he was good. I mean, he threw the ball all over the yard. He threw it to, the opposite colored jersey just as many damn times as he threw it to Gamecock wide receivers. But from 92 to 95, I mean, that dude was straight out balling. I mean, he had long hair for 2 of those years. No. Was it 1 year? 2 years. He had long hair for 2 years. 92 and 93. In 94, Brad Scott came in and made him cut his hair. We're going to get some discipline in here. What did he do? He proceeded to have one decent season with Sparky Woods' players, and then he turned the program into a shit show. More on that later. But, I mean, there's no reason for me not to like Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he does it the right way. I mean, he does it, with the support of his team and the support of his coaches. I mean, like I said, I've never heard him even utter a word. That doesn't mean he hadn't given interviews. I just haven't ever happened to hear him. But he's not like the cocky, arrogant ass type quarterback like a Baker Mayfield or a Johnny Manziel that I can think of in recent times that you would maybe really hate if you were an opposing fan, or a Bryce Harper, taking it to another level of another sport there. So he's just a kid out there playing football. I don't know reason for me not to like him. So I'm going to kind of tone back my hate on him a little bit there because there's no reason for it. But there is reason for me not to like our coaching staff. Reason for me not to like their play calling, the garbage that they're putting out there on the field, and that's just it. Me and the Clemson fans are just like me and a lot of the other fan bases. I mean, we have a love-hate relationship. A lot of them really like me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being subbed to the channel. We're almost at 7,000 subs right now. Almost 7,000. That's unreal. And I know there are a ton of YouTube channels out there with way more subscribers than that, and I'm good with that. I'm good with slow growth, but you know what? There's also a ton of them out there with less than 100 subscribers. I mean, who are trying. I mean, they really are trying. I wanted to get a shout out to one of my friends. He's a South Carolina Gamecock video maker, SEC Football Tube. SEC Football Tube. He comments on almost every one of my videos. He gives me a thumbs up. I'm going to put a link to his channel down in the description box below. If you would, go check him out if you like the content there. Make sure you give him a sub. But there are some Clemson fans that get under my skin. I'm not going to lie to you. There are some that really piss me off. One of them, the notorious Clemson Natty Champs Hold That Alabama ×2, who I finally got rid of off this page because I got tired of hearing his ridiculous video game knowledge bullshit, who changed his name to Nosotros Playa so he could get in. Blocked him, and then he changed it to Einstein 2.0 or some crap, and then I haven't even seen him since. So hopefully he did all of us a favor and made like a big turd and flushed himself down the commode. Back in it was either late August or early September, after the UNC loss, me and my daddy was out playing golf with my older brother, and we got into it with some young Clemson fans, and things got a little bit heated. They really did. And actually, I'm going to show you a little bit of footage of that. I'm actually not in the video because I'm the one shooting it, but my daddy is the one wearing the white Gamecock visor, and my older brother, Carolina Chamberpot, he's 12, he's 11 years older than me right now, so he's 55. He's the one wearing the blue polo shirt in there and the khaki pants. You just watch what happens. There's a bunch of little smart-mouthed Clemson kids that kind of give us a hard time out on the golf course.
Let me shut up, God damn it! Just shut your fucking mouth. That's all you gotta do. Go home to your fucking mamas. Just shut the fuck up. Leave us alone. Shut up. Then go. I'm shutting up. Then go. Go. Damn. Hey, and we don't want to see you behind us. You better go play the front again. I promise you I won't. Will not. I will not. I don't give a fuck if you're even 8 years old. You ain't gonna talk back to me. You think it's funny, bitch?
Yeah, pretty heated, right? Yeah, I know. Thank goodness I finally dropped the camera, stopped recording, and I intervened, and cooler heads prevailed, and nothing came to blows. Dad got back on his medication, and things are fine now. But, yeah, all I want for Christmas is I just want a football team that freaking competes, man. I just want somebody I can be proud of. I want to be able to crow a little bit. I want to be able to crow 4 times this year. And let's just face it, one of the times was crowing about Charleston Southern, and there ain't a lot of crowing that you can really do about that. I mean, it's kind of silly and pointless. So, President Castleman please, man, from the bottom of my heart, from the Gamecock fans' heart, this experiment, with this 4 years that we went through, it's enough. It is enough, dude. We need a new head football coach. We need some new life in this program. We need to start over. Yeah, I know. $21 million buyout, $20 million buyout. It's a lot. That's more than I got. Let me check my pockets. No, I don't have it there. Do I have it here? No. Maybe I got it buried in the mason jar. No, I don't have but about $36 out there. So, yeah, I don't have it. But y'all can find it. You know why? Because I'm telling you this. In that 81,000 seat stadium next year, when your average home attendance drops to about 65,000, you're going to take a lot bigger hit in the pocket there than you are by just going on ahead, biting the bullet, pay this asshole his money and his staff, and get rid of these douchebags. Because they don't care nothing about winning. They don't care nothing about this university. They don't care. Right now, Will Muschamp is the smartest man in America. Because he could get fired today, take her buyout. He'll never have to work again a day in his life. They can just be like me and my daddy and my older brother and those smart-mouth Clemson kids out there on the damn golf course every day, playing around, just playing. Because it's Friday. He won't have no job. Because he got your $20 million in his pocket. And he won't have shit to do. He's the smartest man in the world. Just get rid of him. Get rid of him. Hire somebody else, please. Hire Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze is winning at Liberty. Yeah, I know he's a little bit dirty, but you know what? Liberty's going to go to a bowl game. Liberty's won 6 games so far. They're not beating Virginia this weekend. I don't know who their last game against, but they're 6-4 right now. Go hire him. Go hire Kyle Whittingham. Get him away from Utah. Get him out of there. He's been there for like 15 years. Throw the checkbook at him. Get him here. He'd win at South Carolina. Another person I wanted to come here that nobody else liked, though. Go to Navy. Talk to Ken Niumatalolo. Get him down here. Get him down here. Get him to run a spread-type version of a triple option offense. Nobody be able to stop it. Nobody would be able to stop it. He can get some athletes to come here. He's a disciplinarian. He's a good football coach. That's what you need. You need somebody that is all of that. I think Will Muschamp's a good disciplinarian, okay? I think his football players like him. I really do. But let's cut the shit. He's not a good head football coach. He's a good defensive coordinator, and that's about it. And he can make a great living as a good defensive coordinator. Do you think Brent Venables up at Clemson is in, like, any dire straits to go anywhere? No. You think that Aranda dude at LSU, do you think he's, I mean, is he, you know, just chomping at the bit to go somewhere else? No. No. He ain't. They're content with their coordinator jobs. Let Muschamp settle in somewhere. Let him go be the damn defensive coordinator at freaking Arkansas. I mean, they need a defensive coordinator. They need offensive. They need everything. Let him go over there. Let him work for Gus. Let Gus Malzahn be the head coach at Arkansas. Let Boom Dump be his right-hand man, defensive coordinator, and let him get somebody to be his offensive coordinator. Brian McClendon. Get them gone. Because they're not working here. They are not working out here. We need an offensive mind. We need an offensive dude. Because let's just face it. At South Carolina, the University of South Carolina, you're going to be recruiting kids from South Carolina, North Carolina, the Georgia area. Especially the kids from South Carolina. You're already behind the 8 ball. Talking about Clemson and Georgia that you're recruiting against. So if there's a 5-star here, they're going to get the first look. They just are. And, I mean, you are going to find more offensive talent in the state of South Carolina and in the state of North Carolina, really, than you're going to find in other places. because this is just where the offensive football, the skill position players is just what comes from here. If you don't believe me, look at the scores at the South Carolina high school football games on Friday nights. I mean, they score a ton of points, a lot of them do. But you're not going to get those defensive players. You need an offensive-minded guy. You need a younger dude. And I don't even care if he's that young. I'm talking about Neon Matalolo. He's probably as older than Muschamp. But he seems to be just a much better football mind than that idiot. I mean, he really does. Just get us somebody different. I mean, we're begging for it, man. We are begging for it. That's about all I got to say about it, man. The Clemson game, am I going to talk trash about it? Yeah, I will, because I always do. That's what I do on here. But, I mean, it's not going to be competitive. That offense we're going to put on the field, it'll be three downs and punt every damn time. I was talking to somebody today. I said, I think the final score might be 63-17. You're playing off what it was in 2003. And I said, wait a minute. No, we don't have the damn offensive talent to score 17 points. We might score 3 points. Their punter, what's his name, Will Spires, he dropped a punt yesterday. He gets weight. I'm thinking he's going to drop a punt on the Clemson 12. We go for negative 11 yards in 3 plays, and then Parker White comes in and he kicks a 40-yard field goal for the lone score. And I am serious as a heart attack when I say that. I think it will be that bad. I think it's going to be that bad. In closing, guys, I mean, if your team is doing good this year, I mean, props to you. I mean, good deal, man. I mean, you're pulling for a team that's doing well. If your team is having, a better year than people expected, props to them for that. I mean, if you're a Tennessee fan, and props to y'all for being 5-5 right now. I mean, to hear it at the beginning of the year, y'all was going 9-3, and Georgia, look out, here we come. I mean, but you're still going to have a solid year. You're going to make a bowl game because you're going to beat Missouri. They're terrible. You're going to beat Vanderbilt. You're going to end up 7-5 with a chance to get an 8th win in a bowl game. So, congrats to the Vols. I mean, but if your team's like mine, a crap show, I mean, don't just give up on your team just because you're not winning right now. I mean, because things always have a way of cycling out and then cycling back in, as Todd Ellis would say. They do. I mean, they really do. People ask me sometimes, what is this hat you've got on? This is the hat. This is a Division, I believe they're Division II team, the East Stroudsburg Warriors. They are in the Pennsylvania Intercollegiate Athletic Conference with like Slippery Rock, Millersburg, and a few other teams. I already talked about it on here before that like Penn State is like one of my adopted teams that I kind of follow. And don't sit here and say, well, you're just a nut riding them because you're a Gamecock fan. Your team is shitty. Me. No, that's not it at all. I love the great state of Pennsylvania. I like going up there on vacation, and we plan to move there sometime within the next 10 years. As long as Carolina Jackpot can withstand the cold, we got to go up there and visit during the winter time, and we may be doing that after Christmas. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it or not, but I sure want to. But that's where that comes in. I bought this hat like 3 years ago when I went up there, and I just love that area. It's not like you would think. Pennsylvania, a lot of people think, oh yeah, it's a bunch of assholes up there, and they're just like New Yorkers, and they're always in a hurry and running you off the road and this and that. No, I don't really think so. I mean, they're really not. Everybody has been really nice. The guy that helped me with my stuff at the timeshare that I've got up there last year, his name was Pocono Joe. Pocono Joe was giving me the old rundown on everything around the area, all the attractions. I'm like, damn, Joe, I done been up here the past 3 years, man. I know everything around here. It's not that big of an area, but still, I mean, it was nice, and everybody up there has been pretty cool. Hopefully, I won't have any incidents with them, once I get up there, but if I do, I could imagine that it will look a little something like this.
I don't get what you guys' problems are. Honestly.
My problem are you a damn mouthy little Yankee fuck.
Yeah, I think that's exactly how it's going to go down sometime. All right, guys. Y'all enjoy this weekend of college football. There are a lot of games out there that really don't mean a hill of beans. In week number 13 of South Carolina, we're off this week. Clemson's off this week. So, there'll still be videos, though, this week and on Saturday. I'll see y'all later. Appreciate it. Peace. And I'm out of here. Go Gamecocks. Still, Spurs up to my toes up. And please get rid of the idiot.